Yo, this is Plaga Benz and time have come. The Lion tell them one story. This is the Lion's Voice stage.
What do you have to tell the people about Ras Tafari?
Light to the world. The king of kings and the conquering line of the tribe of Judah. I left himself. Where's rightful ruler? Hey yo! Yeah, hear them high, hear the black king born the 23rd of July. So tell them guy who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your
I
night.
heard of that.
From ancient time them a try. Them Romans know them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi, they stole my people. Then them come spread out them genocide.
Are you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill. The lion will come conquer Judah tribe.
Who?
Go through tribulation, I and I strive, see sufferation, I and I still rise. That's why we tell them, in America, live Rastafari in every ghetto area. We come to tell them, in a Toronto, straight at Inde.
And as you said, the brethren was young at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and no one had really discussed that. The generation that came before us, when we look
Right.
at their situation, they did not really set that family structure. And a lot of them
Right.
are coming from survival, trauma,
Mhm.
all of these things that are part of the African experience, the uprising that we're
Right.
going through. So after the first Kingman, your first child's father, where did love take the eye after that
Hey.
journey? Your heart
So-
was broken. Your heart was broken. You're still a young sister.
My
You have
heart
a
was
child
shattered
now.
in pieces.
Yes. You have a
Because it
child.
wasn't just a love. It was, I was trotting Bobo Shanti at the same time. So it was like I was seeking God. So God was involved and I was reading the Bible for the first time. My vision was clear. Everything in the Bible came clear to me. I was pregnant, so I used to go to the service every Sabbath, belly big, stand by the drum, get that vibration. So I was so in tune. I was so deeply rooted at that moment in my life. So when that happened, it was like I couldn't believe this is happening to me in this time. Like I just was so shocked that, I was in a dark place. I wouldn't lie, because this is life and this is reality. And I don't really mind who's gonna know my story, because this is reality, and we have to deal with life and its lessons. And I was in a very dark place, and I had a Rastafari sister in Brooklyn. I used to always go and check her, and I was so heartbroken that she was there like a healer. She was comforting. She would always like check for me, and I would stay weekends and on in Brooklyn, hanging out amongst the Rasta and just holding a vibe, just to free up my heart, And her son was so attracted to me. He was not Rasta, but the mom was Rasta. And he was a very kind person. He always checked for me, always checked for my youth. Every time he see me, you could see the love in his eyes. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, you need to love who love you. In my mind, I'm like, love who love you. This youth is a bald head youth, but maybe he'll change. And I started to talk to him, and he did start heightening up a little bit and stop eating certain things and start reading a little bit here and there, and but he was still young and he was in the streets and stuff, so the street life was more prevalent to him than what I was trying to build with him. And it came like he was trying to impress me more than trying to be with me the right way. So he would like go and do things without me, and I'm like, he would run and go to the EABIC to go service and say he went service to like prove himself to me. And I didn't like that, because I'm like, yo, brethren, you got to understand where I'm coming from. So you have to watch what we do in a relationship, And I would like for us to do things together. If you're going to go to the ISIS, let's go together. If you're going to get introduced to the brethren, then don't rush and go through. I tell you, his mom was a Rasta.
Yes.
So he would still do that, I guess, just to get that.
Was his mother Bobo Shanti? She was Bobo Shanti?
At the time, she was.
Okay.
So
So you're still in the Bobo Shanti ecosystem?
At that time, yes.
At that time, yes.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, sir. So I gave him a chance, and then we stayed together for a little while, but he did get incarcerated, and then he went away for a while. And when he came back home, I realized the connection wasn't there anymore. Because at the time, I was still going through my healing. And I was young. Like I always say, I was young. So my mind wasn't fully grown yet. And I was like, who love you, not who you love? And I try to work it out. But in reality, I was deeply rooted to Rasta. It wasn't going to work, you know?
Yeah.
So we separated. But we stay in contact to right now. So.
Okay, give thanks. Give thanks.
Yes, right.
So, where did love lead you after that?
So after that, I stayed single for a very long time. I didn't have anyone for a long time. I had a son with my last child father. I had my son who was 14. I stayed single. He got incarcerated by the time my son was a baby. When he came home, my son was like 8 months old. So when he left, I was by myself for a long time. So
that was the first bubble brethren you're talking about that broke your heart.
No, the second youth that I tell you, he wasn't a Rastafari, but he was heightened up.
Okay. Oh, you had a youth with that brethren too.
Yeah, I had my son with him.
Okay. Give thanks. Yes.
Which I wanted to have my son with him because he's like 6'3" and he's strong, and I wanted my son. All these things Dr. John Henry Clark speak about, like things of how the traits we would want for our children and stuff. So that was what attracted me to have a child same way.
Yes.
So I had my son, and then he departed from me when my son was like 8 months. So I stayed single until my son was like 2 years old.
Okay.
And I actually did a radio program with a few other daughters, a daughter named Ras Tafari and a daughter named Aisha. And we had a program in New Jersey on the radio called Lioness on the Rise.
Okay.
And I used to be on the radio hosting, and it was a very lovely program. We would talk about Rastafari works and play conscious music and stuff. And I met a lot of people on Facebook through the show, and I met this daughter, and she would always say, "I want you to meet my brother. I want you to meet my brother." So one night we met up at a midnight show, and I met her in person, but I didn't meet the brother yet. And then the following weeks, she put us on the phone together, and we talked on the phone for a very long time. And eventually we saw each other, and we connected, and we got married right away.
So that was the brethren that you visioned from the 16-year-old?
Yes. That was my first true love.
Okay, and he was a Rastafari brethren?
Yes, I had Naibengi brethren, yes, sir.
Okay.
On walk and everything, yeah.
Okay, and what was the challenge, or why are you not with that brethren at this time?
Oh, Lord. So,
we want to get to the root. We have to get to the root.
We have to. So,
I mean.
So, me and this brethren, we were together for a very long time. We were very spiritually connected. This is the first time I really believed that I was in a spiritually connected relationship. He was from St. Lucia. So, at a point in time when he was here, his documents had expired. And he wanted to go back home because he had a lot of land home. His grandfather had acres of land, and he decided to go back home. We decided together, and I was in agreement with it. And I really wanted to do it. So he went back home. As he went back to St. Lucia, he stayed in St. Lucia for the first 2 years. He became like this super rebellious Rastafari, one that Rastafari who don't want cell phone, who don't want to deal with certain things. So it kind of created a disconnect at first, because I still had the 3 children home. I had a youth for him. Mm-hmm. And when he decided to leave, and we got married on July 23rd. It was very Isle of Fool vibe. So we were connected, but when he left, it was a separation. It was a disconnect.
Okay.
You could feel it in the atmosphere, like it just broke.
So why you didn't go to St. Lucia with the brethren?
I went. I used to go back and forth. I was in the process of going to live with him. So the first 2 years when he went, and this is a conversation I would love to have, because many of us has experienced this kind of repatriation. Okay. That some of us, it wasn't successful, and some of us it was. He was very young, and he had to learn. When I say he was young in this experience. He didn't have any children or anything like that, or he used to work, he went to college and stuff like that. But as far as like raising a family, he was a stepdad now and things like that. It was a lot for one person, I do understand. So when he did decide to go, he stayed in the island learning how to cultivate the land. He became a farmer. He was not using cell phone as much. This is a person that I would be on the phone with all day long when he's in America at work. So when he was in the island, we weren't talking. It caused that disconnect between me and him. So then we would bicker, and then I got to a process. 5 years passed. No house built. No, nothing. We just stuck, stagnant. I feel like I'm complaining all the time. He's feeling down and out because he lost his family. I want to say he got very depressed because of the situation. He didn't know how to manage. And me being a strong woman, I won't deny that I am a firm woman, and maybe I might have been a little too hard.
Rastafari. Black woman, I say your heart is so golden. I know you were chosen. This world cold, but your heart never frozen. Anyway then, black woman, I wanna see you smile again. Wanna see you walk beside the Nile again. Wanna see you raise the African child again. I wanna see you living in style again. Then, black woman, I wanna see you rise again. Take time, look in your eyes again. One touch, nature rise again. Black woman, don't be surprised again. Then, black woman, look how she work and slave. Right by my side, down in a this slave trade. History can record the sacrifice she made. Reparation can match all the price she paid. She now go live like no mice that freed. So I and I, the lion of is strong and brave. She says she love the way the king of kings I praise. Plus me no trim nor shave. Anyways, well then, black woman, I wanna see you smile again. Wanna see you walk beside the Nile again. Wanna see you raise the African child again. I wanna see you living in style again. Then, black woman, I wanna see you rise again. Take time, look in your eyes again. One touch, nature rise again. Black woman, don't be surprised again. Then, black woman, I know he hurt you bad. You go with your mother, never know you're dead. Your boyfriend will beat you anytime he mad. Plus you not get no joy from the job she have. But she not go say coffee, no life that sad. Work too hard, feel no happy and glad. She search for your man, we got a righteous drag. She find a man with a red, gold and green flag who never brag. Black woman, I wanna see you smile again. Wanna see you walk beside the Nile again. Wanna see you raise the African child again. I wanna see you living in style again. Then, black woman, I wanna see you rise again. Take time, look in your eyes again. One touch, nature rise again. Black woman, don't be surprised again. Then, you're always welcome to come home. She's searching for a love is real, and she don't wanna be alone. She says she wanna love that she can feel. David offsprings on the throne, and I know that he lose the 7th seal. Babylon dear falling down, that is just what the prophecy revealed. Well then,